I'm sure you've heard the same thing. Why aren't the Browns running the ball more? Is it as simple as they're trying not to get a young quarterback in DTR in obvious passing situations, and they don't want to run into stacked boxes? I mean, if you look at it, there's some teams with DTR that are saying, okay, young fella, show me you can beat me.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is at times it looks like the JT Barrett Ohio State offenses where they just wanted to see could you beat them with the throw. And the reality is they're not very good at running the ball regularly. DeJuan Jones is a better pass protector than he is a run blocker, even though he's mammoth, right? And so they are just right now better at throwing the ball. I wanted to pull it up, but they're a drive that starts with a rush against the Rams. 40% of the time, they got a new first down. When they started with a pass on any series or any new first down, they got a new first down 80% of the time. They are just better overall, and the NFL is set up this way that you need to be able to throw the ball. And so many times fans will point to yards per carry averages and stuff like that. But the reality is that most likely if they continue to run the ball, that yards per carry average would be coming down. And I would say they have that high yards per carry average because they're running the ball in very certain and specific situations, as opposed to saying, we're just going to run the ball because we have a great offensive line at run blocking and we have a great runner. They don't have that. So they're being very choosy about when they run the ball. And that's why their yards per carry average is so high at times.
All right. So here's kind of a graphic look at what you're talking about. This is running efficiency into heavy boxes versus light boxes. Y-axis is the success versus light boxes, so that's up and down. X-axis, heavy boxes, that's right to left. Jerome Ford is the guy that is third worst into heavy boxes. That's our primary run carrier. Now, Kareem Hunt is kind of in the middle, slightly to the right of average, but Jerome Ford is third worst success rate running into heavy boxes. He's better than only Joshua Kelly and Dameon Pierce of the Texans. So that gives you an indication of why they're not just lining up and saying, we're going to run the football.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're running into lighter boxes. Ford is a little bit better at that, or a lot better than that at that. Hunt is fine with that. Again, not that you have to just trust the Browns, and their play callers and all of that, but the fact that they actually are having some success in the run game with that graphic tells you they're looking at it and going, wow, Jerome Ford is struggling with that. Kareem Hunt doesn't have the explosion. Pierre Strong, if he's in the game, teams basically know they're not throwing the ball or they're throwing the ball quickly because he really struggles as a pass protector. So the Browns, at some level, are limited to when they can run the ball, and they're not just running into those stacked boxes. Jerome Ford looks a lot like Trent Richardson when he doesn't have a very clear lane, right? He's dancing. He's trying to find it. He's not aggressive. So let's not put him in those situations. Again, and we talked about this off air, the Browns have a very limited offense without Watson, without Chubb, without their two tackles, without Cooper for the last part of that game, the second half of that game. It's a limited offense, and they're trying to scrape together, right? It's kind of like, some of those food TV shows. You give them a bunch of random ingredients and they're trying to make a meal out of it. It may not be a meal you like, but it has kept them in a lot of games. It's won them games. And at some point at 7-5, given all those injuries, you might want to trust the chef at this point in time.